All the markets in negative territory. The Dow's down 27, Dow's down 1, the S&P's down 1, so everything's in negative territory. Basically, it's mostly on caution in reference to the Eurozone as we see more bad news coming out of the Eurozone. I don't know. The bad news has always been there, but I guess they're talking about it again with the exception of the only new piece is that Moody's has warned that they're likely to have a downgrade by the Eurozone. So in the Eurozone. So, that obviously some bad news. We got some bad manufacturing or we got some bad export numbers coming out and some other things. But nevertheless, bad news. It's going to be a wait and see kind of week as everybody's going to be waiting for the private sector jobs report and the unemployment numbers coming out on Friday. And it looks like it's almost inevitable that the Fed is going to do another round of quantitative easing. Worse yet, this round may be an open-ended round. They just love, this whole open-ended, no budgets, just spend, nothing to hold accountable. I can buy as much debt as I want. I can just run my budget wild, whatever I want, because there's no line. At the end of the year, I'll do a budget after all my numbers are done, and then I'll say that I met the budget. They haven't done that, by the way, but so we've got the Fed talking about open-ended bond purchases. So it's just forever for as many bonds, maybe $2 trillion. Whatever Tim needs, Timothy Geithner, whatever Tim old boy needs to pay the bills, we'll just buy the bonds. The Fed will buy it. Don't worry about it. The Fed's going to make sure that China doesn't start pulling ahead of them again. We want to make sure that the Fed is our number one debt holder, and it doesn't look like there's any chance of that changing anytime soon or ever, as a matter of fact. We've got Fred Jackson with us. Fred Jackson from OneNewsNow.com, a news director here at AFA, and we will talk to Fred. Fred, what's cooking, man?
Well, the big news this week that we'll be watching, of course, is the opening of the Democrat convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yesterday, while most of us were enjoying a Labor Day break, they passed the party platform at the convention. And Dan, for Christians of note, two particular aspects in that platform dealing with the Democratic Party's full endorsement of abortion and homosexual marriage. Let me just read you a few of the words. This is directly from the Democrat Party platform, which now has been passed or will be officially passed by a vote today, but there's no question that it's going to go through. Here's what they have to say about abortion. The Democratic platform states that it unequivocally supports Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court decision that made abortion legal, and, quote, supports a woman's right to make decisions regarding her pregnancy, including a safe legal abortion regardless of ability to pay, end quote. It also opposes, and they're talking about the Republicans here, they note that the Republicans oppose using public revenues to promote or perform abortion or to fund organizations that perform or advocate abortions. Read into that, Planned Parenthood. So there you have it. It's abortion on demand. If you're a Democrat, your platform now is going to say, we support abortion on demand. We support Roe v. Wade, that it's a woman's decision. The platform goes on to state, abortion is an intensely personal decision between a woman, her family, her doctor, and her clergy. There is no place for politicians or government to get in their way. Now, Dan, I find that kind of interesting because it is this administration and the Democrats that have forcing abortion, providing abortion dollars to organizations. So what it appears the platform is saying is that we're not going to interfere with a woman's choice to have an abortion, but we are going to force organizations to fund those abortions, be they church organizations such as Catholic schools or Catholic hospitals. So there you have quite a contrast there. And the Democrats even noted between the Democrats and the Republicans. As I said, they note in their platform that Republicans are reluctant to support organizations such as Planned Parenthood. Republicans are reluctant to give taxpayers money to those organizations. And we know from news in recent months that the Obama administration has set out to punish those states and to take to court those states who say, We do not want our tax dollars going to Planned Parenthood because it is the nation's number one provider, supplier of abortion on demand. So there you have one major contrast.
Well, I appreciate their platform pointing out that the Republicans are at least in line with the majority of the Americans in this country. So I'm glad they pointed that out. But am I safe, or not me, anybody listening, are we safe in assuming that, now this is a plank in the platform, so are we safe in assuming that anybody that is running on a Democratic ticket buys into this platform?
Well, you would have to. Now, you might tell your constituents back home, well, I don't agree with that. But the reality is, if you vote for a Democrat on November the 6th, you are also voting to support this platform. Now, Dan, that isn't a politically biased opinion. That's just the way it is. There may be people at the Democrat convention when this comes up for a formal vote this morning. There may be some delegates at that convention who will vote against it. But we do know that the president, let's just deal with that aspect. This platform reflects President Barack Obama's view and desire where he wants to take this country. The Democratic Platform Committee, we reported this over the last month. We talked about it on your program, Dan, a few weeks ago. When the Democratic Platform Committee, I believe they were meeting in Detroit the same weekend that Mitt Romney chose Paul Ryan. We reported that on the Monday afterwards. That Democratic Platform Committee 100% endorsed what we've just been talking about, this party platform. So there is no doubt it's going to go ahead. And as I say, you can vote against it, but you are still, if you are voting Democrat, you are voting for abortion on demand. That is in the formal party platform.